Hi everybody, I'm Jude, this is Wayne, and you're watching Fun with Jude and Wayne. We're going to make style cheesecake, yummy, and over to Wayne to give us our instructions.
Oh, lucky me.
Okay, we need to start by making the crust.
Yeah, we're going to make the crust and we have to cook it at 350 for about 15 minutes.
Okay.
So, I've got the oven preheated and we're going to start. You want to get the whisk? And, yeah.
This is a whisk.
That's whisk.
I'm a very basic cook, remember?
That's 1.5 cups of Graham Wafer Crumbs.
Okay.
Okay? And...
could you use the chocolate ones? The Oreo one?
well, if you were going to make
a
cake, yeah, I suppose you could, depending on your chocolate theme.
Okay.
I think you can do anything you want.
Exactly.
But for today,
exactly.
we're...
what did you just put in there?
Yeah, what did I just put in there?
Sugar.
Oh, 1/4 cup of sugar. No! 2 tablespoons. 2 tablespoons of sugar. Okay. So we've got a 1/4 cup of melted butter.
Oh.
Excuse me. There.
It's nice, you're using your manners.
Only for the video.
He's used to being in charge, folks.
I come from a family that never ever said, please, thank you.
Oh, and it drives me mad. You've got to use your manners. That's a British thing.
Well,
so this isn't getting very doughy, is that how you want it?
oh no,
It's just kind of crummy.
It's pressed. It's crummy. Yeah. It's it gets pressed into a springform pan.
Okay.
So
you're going to do that?
yeah, a specific 9 inches. So
stop bragging.
well, I didn't have one, so I had to borrow it. So I prepared it with some spray. Now dump that in, and we're going to press it into, but it's got to go up the sides. Okay? So if you see this, to hold the cheesecake.
So folks, can you see it's gone up the side of the pan?
And we're pressing it in. I chose this glass because it has a nice flat bottom. Like Judith. Okay, and so we press it in.
Couldn't that just set and you could just use it? Why do you have to cook it?
Because the recipe said to.
See, my kind of cooking is just, put the cheesecake
When you say diffuse it,
I did.
what do you mean? We bake for 10 minutes
and let it cool.
So there, we've got it up the side. Pretty good. And we're going to put it in the oven. Okay, so now we're going to make the filling for the cheesecake. We're putting the cream cheese in here. And we're going to beat it
to death.
Senseless.
Imagine that.
So I'm scraping the bowl down, because what we want to do is make sure this cream cheese and all the other ingredients are blended as smooth as possible. So now we're going to put a cup of sugar in, and we're going to make that noise again. What are you doing?
I'm saying nothing.
Saying nothing.
Saying nothing. That's a hard thing for us.
Yeah.
Judith and I have known each other for a long time. She lived on the street, and I invited her over for supper one night, and we've been friends ever since.
There's a magic there, isn't there? A magic when you hit it off with somebody. True friends, it's hard to beat.
And yet, you really didn't get to know me till we started this.
Oh, this is a different level of knowing you.
It is.
You leave the drawers open, you make a mess everywhere you go.
Welcome to Wayne Harrison.
Yes.
I'm going to make that noise again.
So you're blending it, but are you also trying to get air in?
No, we don't want air in.
Ah, okay.
So we want it smooth.
Yeah.
And when we pour it in the thing, we're going to hammer it down to get as much air.
out.
The air will cause it to crack.
Ah.
So we don't want that. And so we're going to mix in some salt.
Couldn't you whisk the eggs and just throw them all in?
Well, some people have done that before.
Yeah.
Watch another episode of what we're doing.
I don't know.
Anyway, the idea of putting them in one at a time is so that it's not a big gush of slime from the eggs. You know how slimy it gets? It's hard to incorporate. So if you do it one at a time, you do it. That's because they were at room temperature.
When you spill salt, do you do the English thing of throwing it over your left shoulder?
No. Then you have to sweep it up.
Well, but it's for good luck.
And it might get in the drawers I've left open.
Yep.
So, after each edition, I'm going to make a noise. What?
Oh, I was trying to knock all the eggs in.
Are you trying to get... one at a time, or whatever Judith gets in there.
Does this set in the fridge, or do we cook it?
It gets cooked. Remember, it stays in the oven for an hour after it's...
Oh, yeah.
You put it in for 15 minutes at 350, then you turn it down to 300, let it sit for another 30 to 35 minutes, and then without opening the door, you shut the oven off and cook it for an hour. And let it sit in the thing. So we're putting the ½ cup of sour cream at room temperature into the mix, and we're going to blend it. All just to get it blended.
Here I have the crust that I prepared earlier.
You prepared earlier,
I did
you?
I prepared this earlier.
Did you have a drink of water?
I had a gin and tonic.
Yeah, that's exactly how it's going. Right, so now we're going to pour it into the prepared...
Oh, I see why you got the sides so high.
Yeah, bruh. Oh. So we're going to shut the timer off on the stove so it doesn't make a noise.
Do this.
There. And we tap it. Okay, so now the cheesecake is ready to place in the oven. Okay, you preheat the oven to 350 and you cook it for 15 minutes at 350. Then after 15 minutes, we're reducing to 300 degrees for about 30 to 35 minutes. The outside should be puffy. The inside should be a little jiggly, but don't oven.
Puffy and jiggly. My pet names. Sorry.
I'm wordless.
Have you met Puffy?
Not intimately.
Oh
so
my goodness, behave, Wayne.
Puffy and jiggly subdued here. We've turned the oven down to 300 after 15 to 20 minutes. The outside edge of the cheesecake will look puffy, and the center will be a little on the wobbly, jiggly side. But you're not going to open the door. You're going to keep the door closed and leave it in for an hour. But you shut the oven
That's
off.
a long time.
It's what the recipe calls for.
I know.
And it may be a disaster, but we're going to find out. So anyway, once it's out, we cool it for 6 hours minimum, up to 3 days.
Whoa!
Yeah, woo.
I want to eat it before then.
Make it earlier. So we're going to make the blueberry topping. We're going to use 2 cups, and these are wild blueberries, frozen right out of the freezer. We're going to have ½ cup of water and 1/3 of a cup of sugar. So I'm putting in the end, and then I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of lemon juice. Anyway.
That's not much.
So
we're stewing the blueberries, basically.
Basically stewing the blueberries, and then we're going to thicken it with cornstarch. So we've got 4 teaspoons. Once this gets up to temperature, we've got 4 teaspoons of cornstarch, which we're going to mix in a bowl with 3 tablespoons of water. Yes. So you might as well mix that while we're doing it. And whatever. So we've got this to a boil now. Judith, if you want to throw that in.
People even call me Jude.
Jude. Did I call you Judith?
I go by
both names.
At home I was always Judy, then along came the Beatles and I was Jude. And I moved to Canada and everyone calls me Judith. So I answer to all three. Should you turn that down a bit?
I couldn't.
I want it to burn.
No, we don't want it to burn. So we're cooking it. We want it to be thickened. You can see it's thickening. And
Yum.
when the cheesecake is cooled,
This would have to be
this will be
also
cooled.
cooled.
Yeah. And we'll pour it on top. So the idea is when you cut your cheesecake and pull it out, little bits will slip down the side. Make it very decorative.
Okay, very nice.
So that is our blueberry sauce. And the stove doesn't like me doing this. So that's our sauce. And it's thickened, it's sweetened. And I would add a little bit of cinnamon if I was doing it. And I'm doing it, so I'm going to add a bit of cinnamon. This is not part of the recipe. It's Wayne's part. It's almost a Judith movement.
Well, I know, but I'm thinking nutmeg.
Oh, well, let's put some nutmeg in.
Well, you don't need both.
My favorite is cinnamon.
Well, there you go. Mmm, smells good.
I love cinnamon. One of my favorites.
Here comes the nutmeg.
We'll just do a pinch.
Little pinch. Beautiful.
There we go. So here's what our blueberry topping looks like in the pan. We're going to cool this down, and once cool, we're going to spread it on top of the cheesecake.
Delicious.
This is the cooled down cheesecake. Just took it out of the fridge, and we're going to add the layer of blueberry sauce topping, and on top of that, we're going to add a layer of whipped cream.
Oh, be still my beating heart.
Oh, it's going to be good. And here it is, folks. The cheesecake with a layer of blueberry topping and a thick layer of whipping cream. Base it on your own needs.
Can we eat now, please?
Yes, we can. Let's have a slice.
All
right, that's it for now. Stay tuned. There are more episodes coming.